Okay, now I'm live.
Uh,
How's it going, everybody? This is Aaron Yoon coming at you from New York City. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I am working with a new setup here. Um, it might look a little bit different. You might notice the logo up there with the word live on it. You know, that's new, and that's all thanks to this new uh, software that I got a hold of that apparently a lot of streamers use called Wirecast. So definitely, I'm trialing it out, and so far I like it, but I am struggling sometimes to make sure that I'm doing everything right. So a little bit of a learning curve because it is a little bit more complicated than the stuff that I'm used to using, but I think we're good to go for today. So got a little bit started a little bit later than I usually like to. Usually I like to drop in on a daily basis while the market is closed to sum up what happened today. And today, first day of the month of July, also the first day of the third quarter for 2020, and we had a record-breaking second quarter in from March to June, and I think that is that's kind of taken out of context a little bit, right? We had the best second quarter since 1998 apparently, and the media loves to sensationalize any kind of price action or market movement or anything like that, and that's totally normal. What do you expect? It's the media, and we live in the age of escalating sensationalism, right? It's some people would argue that it's taken some of the authenticity and integrity out of journalism, but that's the age we live in. So you just gotta, if you're trading, that's just part of what you have to deal with now. And consider where we were at the beginning of the second quarter. We were just coming out of the bottom of the market, the COVID crash. The bottom of the COVID crash, we can actually look at it right here. Since we're using the S&P as a measuring stick, let's take a look at it on a daily basis or even a weekly basis. Actually, no, daily is better. Daily, let's reset this stuff. Okay, so the bottom of this nasty drop right here is your COVID crash, your coronavirus crash, and we bottomed out on March 23rd. The second quarter only gets measured starting from April 1st. So starting from all the way down here to recovering all the way up here to the end of June. Of course, it's going to be the best second quarter of 1998. You happen to have timed 3 months right in the middle of a massive accelerated recovery with unprecedented stimulus bills, unprecedented quantitative easing globally. Of course, this is going to be the best quarter since 1990. Second quarter two since 1998. It shouldn't get too sensationalized by that. So just to catch you up on the fundamentals on that kind of news, and just wanted to throw that comment in there. Let's take a look at what happened today for today's trades. I made a lot of money really fast, and I also lost a lot of money really fast today. It was one of those kind of crazy days, and apparently this week leading up to the 4th of July week always tends to be it's usually. Not usually. It's always a shortened week in one way, shape, or form, and that's this week. The market's only open Monday to Thursday right now, and typically, traditionally, this tends to be a very bullish week. So we had a lot of bullish activity today, and I had some winners, some losers, and one break even. Right? We had a couple of winners, a couple of losers, and one break even. So 5 trades to summarize total. Let's take a look at them. First off, I had an overnight S&P trade that actually worked. So this is a micro ES. Let's take a look at. So it was down here yesterday. I had an order. I like taking these small quarters. I talk about this almost every video, but I love the small quarters. I learned this from an instructor that teaches the quarters theory in Forex, but I think it holds its own pretty good in the futures market as well. So I had a buy order sitting right at the 30.75 mark right here, and I got triggered, and and my stop was 12.5 points, so it's like half of a quarter, which is 12.5. So I'm going for a 2-to-1 here. That's my bread and butter. Right? If I see room for more, I'll shoot for a 3-to-1. But my bread and butter is typically hit a small quarter, half the risk. My stop was 12.6250, right at this line right here. If I were to, right at this line, 62.50, and I was within one tick of getting stopped out, but it saved me, and then I hit my profit target right here on the red line, which is the completion of one small quarter, which is 25 points, from 30.75 to 3100. There are so many times when I get like a near miss where I want to enter at, let's say I wanted to enter at 30.6250, and I miss it by literally one tick, and that pisses me off. Or sometimes I'll get stopped out by one tick, and that pisses me off. So in order to just balance out the emotions, I feel like I gotta celebrate the times where I survived by one tick, and that was literally what happened yesterday. So this right here is like a $125 win, or a little bit more maybe, depending on, I might have gotten entered in a little bit lower, but again, you guys already know that I don't really pay attention to the dollar amount all that much. I just look at my balance at the end of the day. I'm way more focused and obsessed with the process and the emotional game, what you feel as you're trading, way more than the money, right? And the dollars and cents. That's not nearly as important as the process. But this is a winner. And a special kind of winner where I'm like, in your face, I survived by one tick. By the skin of my teeth, I survived the trade and didn't get stopped out and hit my target. So that was my overnight target, and I hit profit, in the morning, right before the market opened. It hit my profit target. The next trade I took was in, so right at 9 a.m., I look at crude oil and natural gas. And I've been saying, like, this is really a difficult trade for me to take emotionally and mentally because it's so expensive. Every penny that it moves is $10. So to take any kind of legitimate kind of zone for entry, I need to be risking hundreds of dollars, like $200. Yesterday was a $200 zone. It had me really nervous. It's outside my comfort level of risking so much on one trade. Usually I'm at like the $50 to $100 level, and you just double that all of a sudden. Yes, there's more risk, gives more reward, but it definitely had me nervous. I think what happened today was, let's go down to the 5-minute. So the energy markets open at 9. So, which is 9 o'clock. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So this is your 9 o'clock candle. I think does this fit that? Okay, so it's like my entry was a little bit. There it is. Okay, so I remember. So the first, my first trade that I took on the energy, on the nat gas this morning was actually a loss. So this is the range right here. This little red area is the range of this candle. This is the high. This is the low. If it breaks below, I go short. If it breaks above, I go long. It's just that simple, right? There's not much. There's not really much strategy to it. If it just goes above this, I go long. If it goes below, I go short. Like, it's as simple as that. And you can tell by this little tiny little wick here that it broke down below, and it triggered me into an order to go short. And you can probably tell from looking at the chart, I got immediately stopped out, and I not only did I get stopped out, I got immediately entered into into the opposite side of the trade, into the long. So I got triggered here. I kind of wish I didn't, but to be honest, I was looking for this trend to just continue to go down. I wasn't really looking for a reversal. If I zoom out a little bit, overall this trend seemed to have been bearish, right? Before today, anyway. Now today it's been very choppy and sideways, but if I only saw this, then I would have thought downtrend. So I was looking for the short, honestly, more than I was looking for the long. But I'm glad that I took the long. That's why you place orders in both directions. It is nerve-wracking because, well, what is it? This was this one wasn't as bad actually, because this one was like $120 risk both ways. So it's like double that is $240 of risk total if I get stopped out both ways. Yesterday it was like $200+ risk range on the opening breakout candle one way. So to take it both ways would have been like $400. It was just, I just got really nervous. I didn't really like it. So so as soon as it started breaking above, I got into the long, and I was like, okay, great. You know what? I'll give this one a shot. And if I, to give you more of a play-by-play, I don't think I can go more than a minute down, but I got entered at 9:14, so I'm in it. I'm like, okay, all right. Hopefully this works out, and I get a break even. But I only took one contract. That's the thing. So I didn't get to do my one-to-one strategy here. So instead of putting a take profit in at wherever the one-to-one would be, which is like around here, right? I went for the 3-to-1 because I saw that there was a lot of room, right? There's a lot of room to grab a profit. So I thought about maybe a 2-to-1, which would have been around here. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for the 3-to-1 to break above this small zone and into this bigger zone area, right? And then I'm scared to take it any further than that. Definitely no 4-to-1. 3-to-1 is as far as I wanted to push it. And I was like, I don't want to mess with the trade, so I took a step back and I went and made some coffee. Right around 9:14 a.m., 9:15 a.m. And as I was making coffee, I hit the profit. So this is a matter. I'm in at 9:14 or 15. I'm in at 9:15, and by 9:22, I've made. Let's see, how many points was this? I made. There's got to be a better way to show. I made several $100s. I don't remember. Okay, it was like 40 points. Is that math right? So around 40 points, that's around $400 in like 7 minutes. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it. Thank God. I took a loss, and then I lost 1-to-1, and then I profited 3-to-1. So I netted 2-to-1, and I have my overnight S&P trade that I woke up into profit. Luckily, right? So that's my 2 winners and my 1 loser. The rest is not as sexy news, honestly. I got faked out on the Nasdaq again, twice. And that's where my remaining losers are. I'm a loser and a break even, So those were my 2 trades of the day here. Let's go back, zoom out a little bit. I didn't take a breakout trade on the equities because it was unclear to me. Like, I wanted to take the Nasdaq, breakout, but it was I didn't expect the day to be as bullish as it was. I learned about this, whole, Independence Day week tends to be a bullish week, and I learned about that way after, when I was just, in a different session with someone else. I honestly wanted to look to take the NASDAQ short, because if we zoom out a little bit, this was our all-time high previously. Today we made a new all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. This was our all-time high previously, and I thought it was gonna bounce out of here. And I was following a different trader, and he was saying that that right around the 250 to 270 area was where he wanted to go short. He wanted to take the NASDAQ down. I don't know. I don't know exactly how far, because he was wrong, right? And so I was like, you know what? I respect this guy. He likes to take, longer term, bigger move trades. And I agreed at the time that this was a good sell area. That's what I thought. Shows how much I know. Oh, and look at that. The market opened again, and we're about to see some action. So you're going to see some action here live. I took a short here, and I got stopped out. And then I took I saw an opportunity for a different move that I'm learning about, it's not a fade, but it is something similar. And I just try to buy a pullback for like a super small trade. It was only risking like 4 points or 5 points to get 20. It was a tiny trade. I didn't even double down or triple down on the contracts for it or anything like that. I just wanted to do something. And I saw it and I took it. It didn't work, so I just immediately closed it out at break even when I could. That's what you're seeing here. If I zoom in a little bit more, my NASDAQ has not been nice to me recently, like the past couple of weeks. I don't think I took any winners on a NASDAQ. If I did, I took way more losers to make up for it on the NASDAQ, and I'm making my win somewhere else. So here I go short. It was working for a second, and then I got stopped out right here. I think I was going from, I must have taken the short at, to the 250 and then used the 75. I like to use quarters for a stop in the NASDAQ. On the S&P, I take half a quarter, 12.5 points. On the NASDAQ, moves way too much. I take a full quarter. Sometimes that's not even enough. Sometimes I need to take more. I need to take 2 quarters in order to really absorb the wickiness, the movement up and down from the NASDAQ. I need more room to handle that, more cushion. And so this one I just wanted to squeeze out a 25-point stop. Didn't work. Even if I had a 50-point stop, it would not have worked. It continued to rally. And I thought I was being slick here. I thought I was getting a little bit of, okay, this is a lesson that I learned. See how this? I updated my indicator on the bottom to show divergence without me having to look for it. I just saved myself more work. Now I have more brain bandwidth to do other stuff, right? To look at other areas. So this is now showing a divergence all by itself. And I saw this even before I got this updated new tool. This was just something that I searched for and I happened to find like an hour ago. This is brand new. I love it. I'm loving the way it looks. But I saw it manually before this even happened. And I was like, all right, divergence. I know it's not guaranteed trend reversal. The NASDAQ faked me out on divergence before, but this time I had a little bit extra pieces of evidence with like the other, because this was an area, a sell area that someone else had suggested. That is a seasoned veteran trader for like 30-something years. So I trust him. I respect his ideas when he like tweets about them or when he like sends them out and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to take that. It's also at like a really high area very close to an all-time high area. It's at a big quarter, a major quarter. The 250 is a major quarter. There's just all these other reasons I wanted to, that I told myself was a good reason to take it short. Obviously, I was wrong, and I got stopped out. And then that was like a $40 loss. So I was definitely up over $500 at some point today, and then later in the day, when was this? So this is like at noon. At noon till at noon I got into trade, and at like 3 p.m. I got stopped out of it. So it was just kind of bouncing around that level. I'm up a little, I'm down a little, I'm up a little, I'm down a little, and then I got stopped out over a span of like 2 hours. So that loss was like, you know, kind of boring, and I guess I deserve it because I didn't actually follow all of the rules. Oh, look at that. See, I don't know if you caught that. A divergence just showed up, just revealed itself on the 5-minute chart for the NASDAQ. I love this thing. This thing is like, it's doing half the work for me. I love when you can use like technology to do your homework for you. That's awesome. So yeah, this thing just indicating some divergence that maybe it will turn around. Maybe it wanted to bounce all the way up, right, and clear out all the, stop out all the sellers, me being one of them, and then it's going to reverse now based on you know, just like a lack of orders, like an order imbalance, right? Maybe there's way more sellers at this point. Buyers are nervous. Maybe there's some profit taking happening. I don't know. It could easily come back down. A lot of this kind of red divergence is indicating that like the bullish momentum is weakening, but the NASDAQ is like its personality is like it fakes you out a lot. It fakes me out a lot, and so it's like I don't know who's a good basketball player that's really good at fakes, like a James Harden or like a Kyrie Irving or something. It's like very slippery, this NASDAQ. Only basketball fans will understand what I just said. But anyway, so you see a second double, you see a second blue arrow, and then you see a second red arrow. That's just a break-even trade that I took. I attempted a move at the very end of the day. It was the end of the day, so I didn't feel any confidence, or I didn't like it at all. So I just cut it short as soon as I saw that it wasn't exactly working. Within the first 2 minutes, I just like cut it at break-even. I lost some commission on that probably, but again, I don't really pay attention to that all that much. So I was at a point where I was at like over $500 today, and then I lost that one trade. That was like a $50 trade, so now I'm down to that's why at the end of the day I only made $460, $1 or $2 or something like that. But I'm happy with it. I'm not going to say no to a $400 day, even though a lot of the trades that I took, I also took a crude oil trade. I'm sorry. This is where the other $200 came from. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but I'll just describe this really quick. I kind of sold myself short on this trade because, again, I just get really nervous with the energy because the movement, it's so expensive, and you can see this crazy movement. Right, and it's just like I'm still learning to handle the swing of it. The indices, I have a good feel for it. I understand it. I know how to I look at it as like, you know, like the way that it moves is the defense, and me trading is offense. So like I know how to read the defense, and I feel comfortable playing against that kind of defense. This kind of defense is very scary. And it just changes my game. Like anyone who plays any sports, like when you're, you know, like it's easy to get psyched out and fake yourself out mentally, even just out of fear of the opponent, right? And that's kind of what happened here. So I have to go all the way down to the 1 minute chart to really demonstrate what happened. I took a short because there was news that had today. Crude oil inventory comes out on Wednesday. Is it only the first Wednesday? I just know that it came out today. I don't know if it's all the time. I'm still learning about the energy markets. It's not my forte at all. But so the idea here is to same thing. Take the break down from the 10:30. So the way it works for news breakout is you look at the range of the previous 15 minutes. So that must have been all the way back up to since from 10:15, which is right here, down to the 10:29 candle, which is right here. I had my sell order right here, right? I'll put a line there. I had my sell order, make this a little bit easier to see. I had my sell order right there. That's why this arrow, this red arrow, is showing that I got in. And and this other yellow line, which was the buy area from the other day, this was my target. Now you can see that if I just held on for, just like 10 more minutes, I would have hit it. But I got scared as soon as I got entered, and then I took profit somewhere around here. So this is almost like a $500, like a $400 move in and of itself, but I only took about half that. And I'm kicking myself because I wouldn't have gotten stopped out. I would have come back, and if I had moved my stop to break even, I would have gotten stopped out broken even. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But if I had just done nothing and waited and made another cup of coffee, right, I would have and taken a little bit longer to do it. I would have gotten my target. So this is like another lesson for today to learn that, especially when with a market that moves this much, like it's just, you have to be okay with swings, right? I was when I was down here, I was up like $300-400 or something like that, and I was like, this is great, come on, keep on going down. And when I saw this blue candle starting to creep up, I was like, oh crap, I better move my stop and lock in some profit because whatever. And then like not really thinking about what's going to happen after that. And what are you going to do? Still, $400, $460 profit is not anything to really complain about, but there is definitely a lesson to be learned and taken away from this, and that is that different markets, different assets behave in different ways, and that for me in particular, I have to just get more comfortable with the defense that the natural gas and crude oil asset classes like throw at me, and it's still a learning process. I'm scoring, but I'm not really nailing it the way that I would like. Still, profitable is better than losing, so I can't really complain. I don't know, that does it for this video. I went on a little bit longer today. I usually want to keep this to like, I'm going to try to keep these videos to like 20 minutes. Maybe 10 if we're in the future, if I get more of momentum going in terms of how to describe my trades. I'm still kind of figuring that stuff out. So, today we went a little bit long, and we went into the market open. Let's see what the market is doing real quick before we wrap up. Looks like, well, this paints a little bit of a biased picture. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, it's still holding. We might be seeing some, so we did see bearish divergence, right? I have my eye on that, right? Even on the hourly divergence. How about the 4-hour? Okay, not the 4-hour. Okay, so we're seeing divergence on the smaller time frames. That has me paying attention to maybe taking the short. I don't know yet. I'm going to need to see a little bit more behavior from the market before I commit to taking a quarter down from the S&P or any of the indexes. So I'm probably done for the day, honestly, and if I see something later on, I will definitely take it, and then I'll talk about it tomorrow. So thanks for joining. Today was a pretty decent day, despite the topsy-turvy nature of like the upward movement, the downward movement. Definitely learned a couple of lessons today as well. So getting paid to learn lessons, that's a pretty good deal. Thanks for joining us. Please, if you like this kind of content, I'm here every single day. So consider subscribing if you want to check out how I do tomorrow, and if you want to trade like me, then you can. I pretty much do just a couple of moves every single day, and you can engage and ask questions, and I'll show you how I do this kind of thing. So consider subscribing. Make sure you hit the follow button for daily content just like this, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of my day trading vlog from YouTube. Thanks everyone.